So imagine that you had a belief, right? Had a lot of conversations about beliefs, so I'm going to try to make this quick. Imagine you believe that this was where you were supposed to be, out there was where you were not supposed to be. That's bad, this is good. You were told that by this book, told you everything that you needed to know. And you're confined to this space, even though you see there's something out there, there's a glass wall. These glass walls are your belief. You're boxed in. You're living inside a belief system. Even though there's something outside of your belief system, you see the evidence of it by simply looking out the window because it is a clear window. But you choose not to go out there because you feel that it is bad based on this belief system, or you feel that you don't need to based on this belief system. Everything that you got is within this belief system on this side of the wall. But you have no experience on what's outside of the wall. So when someone comes to you from outside of your belief system and says, hey, there's more than just this room. Yeah, this may be a nice room, or this may not be or this may be a not so nice room. But outside of this room, there's at least more. There's something else for you to experience. There's more than just this belief system, than just this box. You can choose to say, you're crazy, or I don't want to do that, or I don't want to experience that. But you can't say that you believe that there's not something out there. You can choose not to. The belief system can cause you to box yourself in. And the frustrating thing is when someone from the outside, someone outside your belief system is telling you something more information, or even that there is something about your belief system that is limiting this wall, you can choose to stay there and not believe it and say you're okay. Fine, you can stay within your belief system. The problem that I have is if this belief system is limiting you, limiting your experience, that's one thing. If you're using this belief system and propagating it onto the next person, limiting their experience, that's another thing. But when you have people from outside of your belief system using these walls to manipulate the people inside of this belief system, let's say this belief system is a whole hotel, and outside the people are manipulating everything else and keeping the people inside of this hotel basically in a prison. It's just a nice prison, but it's still a prison. And everything that's out there influences what's in here, but the belief system tells you don't worry about what's out there. Just talking about it sounds weird and doesn't sound liberating, but that's the reality that we live in. I'm in Australia right now, and their history is similar to what we, and I say we as Americans, but what the colonizers did to the Indians. What they did to the Aboriginals is similar. Someone discovered Australia, and there were already people here, and you can just look at the history of what happened to those people. They call them Aboriginals here, and they stick out just like a black person would stick out to a white person, or an Indian person would stick out to a white person. So you can see that that person is an Aboriginal. And it's just an interesting dynamic. I was talking to some people here, and I'm not going to get too long on this one, but they were mentioning their history, and it just reminded me of what happened to the Indians or what happened to black people. And the interesting thing, coming from a black perspective, is our history is of being lied to, of being manipulated. And those same people that lied to us and manipulated us, some of the same people that gave us these belief systems. But they did all of these things to us, but they will definitely lie about this belief system. Look at the track record. That's all I gotta say is look at the track record. I'm someone who is coming to the people inside this belief system from outside and just showing you a different perspective. You can choose not to do what you want to. The frustrating thing on my part is that I'm not asking anything from anybody. I'm just showing you a different perspective. Inside of this belief system, inside of this hotel, if you will, we're killing each other, we're fighting each other, and we are fighting amongst ourselves inside of this small little belief system, while a small group of people outside using this belief system as a tool are doing things that are not in our best interest, and we're the majority. So that's the reality that we live in now. So I'm going to choose to live my life outside of this belief system, and I'm just going to be in my own world, the real one, outside of a particular belief system, and will continue to broadcast to you just to show you that there's someone outside of this window that's waving, saying, hey, you can come outside, it's okay. Whatever they told you about what's wrong out there is false. I've been out there, I came back, I showed you footage of what's out there, and I'm just letting you know that there's more to the story than just this belief system. So, and I'm not going to be afraid to do that at all, because that's the truth. Now, you can challenge, you can say, okay, well, my belief system says this, you're saying that. Let's prove it. Let's go outside. Very simple. I can show you where the door is. Let's go outside and you can breathe the air and you can see that there's something else out there. You don't have to take my word for it. And I'm not the only one that's been out there. I'm not the only one waving from out there. There's other people doing the same thing. So you don't have to listen to me if you don't like the way I look, and you can say, oh, well, that Aboriginal doesn't know what he's talking about, or that Indian doesn't know what he's talking about, or that black guy doesn't know what he's talking about, just because I'm on the other side of the wall, other side of the glass, in a more expanded area than just the belief system. So I think that explains belief, and it's just interesting how it limits people, smart people, people that do rational thinking in other ways. When you start questioning their belief system, it just, well, this is what I believe, this is what I have faith in. But there is evidence on the contrary, so you have to choose to believe something, right? I can believe that I'm not sitting in this couch, but I can prove to you that the couch at least exists for me to sit in it, because I'm sitting in it now. I have proof that I'm sitting in this. You can choose to believe that this couch is CG if you want to, but if I show you the couch and bring you the couch and say sit in it and see for yourself, then you would know that this is not a computer-generated couch. But in order to do that, you have to choose to sit, you have to choose to examine. If your belief says, hey, there's no such thing as couches, this guy's making all of this up, this is CG, you can choose to believe that. And as silly as an example as that is, that's how I feel what's going on now with these belief systems. They're just blinders that are put on us to keep us from seeing what's really going on. I tried to make it short, didn't work. I got a flight. I'm leaving Friday and coming to the States Friday. So it's like I'm basically traveling backwards in time because I'm ahead of your time now. So if I can post this before I leave, this will be my Friday, and I'm not even sure what day it is there. And when I come back from 30 hours of travel, it'll still be Friday. So it's going to be an interesting time. So I'm coming back from the future to the past. So imagine a time traveler coming from the future, from outside this belief system, coming to you, telling you what's going on, and coming into the past. So I'll be doing that literally. I'm showing you all of this stuff literally. Yeah, I'm using parables and examples to try to show you things, but you can look up everything I'm saying. You can test it out for yourself. I have nothing to gain from lying to you about what's outside of the wall, especially when you can go out and check it for yourself. So I think that summarizes it up. We're about to hit the road, so peace, y'all.